I'm good for your heart, so let me snatch your soul. Greetings, Capricorn, all placements. P.S. You guys always order a reading from me from www.ValeriefromVega.com. I had like 30 messages in the last month since I took a break from here because it's been horse show season for me and I work other jobs, and this is not a job. This is just volunteering for free right now. So when I don't have extra time to just volunteer time for free to do the videos, I don't do them, which it was only 1 month and I've taken longer hiatuses. So I do appreciate the messages and people letting me know that, you know, they notice when I'm not around. And Capricorn, that's the thing. People don't want you to notice just how much they notice everything about you, really. How good you are at something, how well equipped you are at something, how well prepared you are at something, how refined you are at something. Marsha. Capricorn, this is something that you guys are dealing with. And you know what's crazy? People will think, this is like the worst kind of people, but this is also a perfect example of projection and mirroring, which is why you really cannot care what other people think or say about you, because it's really just a reflection of themselves. For example, someone who's never worked as hard as you've worked is naturally going to look and be like, I'm just not lucky. I wish I was lucky. I wish I looked like that. Okay, have you been working out for 15 years, completely restructuring your entire bloodline because your grandparents, none of them are alive and most of them were obese and actually had to, like, I fought genetics, okay? So I really don't appreciate when people, like, and there are a lot of people like that. Of course, it's only the people who are lazy, who don't do the work, who don't know actual work ethic, who are full of themselves, who are actual narcissists, who try and say you are, or that you're lucky, or that things were just handed to you on a silver platter, golden platter, whatever, when it's just because they have no idea what it's actually like to work and grind for decades, okay? I'm in my mid-30s, decades. And yeah, you can't let any of those people have any acknowledgement or attention. And then because you don't acknowledge them or give any of those things attention, then they're like, oh, see, they're so stuck up. They're so snooty. You know what? People are going to talk. So let them. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? And you know what, Capricorn? That's the other thing. You fully give to what you love the most, like your passions. And people can call you so selfish and whatever for that. When you are being true to your heart, true to your being, for a Capricorn that is truly in their power, right? Who's actually living their truth, they can look really incredibly selfish to the people around them that they're not catering to. But that's because those people are not that Capricorn's dharma. Like, they will find the highest peak. They will go places that no one else goes for their goals, for their dreams. And it's like, it's so disgusting that people can't just like appreciate that and let them do what they're meant to do and understand that you just get the F out of their way and admire them on their journey and watch that, and you support or you don't. And if you don't support, then don't. I don't know. There's something here, Capricorn, you need to get people out of your life. Like, there are people who are nosy. There are people who gossip over tea about you. People talk, like, let's give them something to talk about. People are talking. Okay, I was first hearing the song Sacrifices by Dreamville, Earth King, and J. Cole. I'm good for your heart, let me snatch your soul. He says, I make sacrifices, bloody sacrifices. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh, that homie is back from the dead. Homie almost lost his head trying to run, trying to fly, trying to float. So, Capricorn, there are valleys and there are mountains. Yeah, well, there are people here who knew you during certain valleys, who have seen you in certain valleys. And so they just wanted to kind of throw that blanket, that layer over you. Like, this is who you are. This is how you are. And it's like, that's not you at all. And then they see you at your next, mountain peak. And it's really, really triggering them. Some people felt like you were really like done for in a certain arena, in a certain field. For a lot of my Capricorns, you have multiple things that you are really good at, that you're really involved in. And so you can spend years focusing and finessing and refining one thing, and then kind of spending a few years here, spending a few years in this thing. And the coolest part about that, Capricorn, I always say this to all my clients, you are only as strong as the weakest area in your life. So it's not being scatterbrained to go from focusing on one thing for a few years and then switching to another for a few years. It's actually being really intelligent and being ahead of everyone, which is also what Drake says in Do Not Disturb, which came out in 2017. 2017 can be really important for you guys. Anything about 1s and 7s. But in that song, he says, People are trying to lecture me. They're cutting things up so there's more for them and then there's less for me. And then he says, they got to be faster than me to get to me, and no one's done it successfully. And that's the thing, Capricorn. If you're only as strong as the weakest of all of your areas, then people who put all of their energy and all of their focus into one thing, one career, one thing their entire life are the most imbalanced people. And it's no wonder they come down with certain... It's no wonder why certain things happen to them. And it's crazy because people actually look at those people and be like, I don't know how X, Y, and Z happened to them. And I look at those people and I'm like, because they're the most imbalanced, like it was toppling over. It was like the worst Jenga game in the world. That's why. And then people look at people who do a ton of different things and they're like, they're so scatterbrained, they're so lucky. How do they just naturally get out of every situation? No, it's because they stay balanced and they focus on all of their foundations. They focus here for a few years, here for a few years, here for a few years, and they are balanced about it, and it's built up brick by brick, and that's why it's impenetrable. And that's also why people hate you. That's why people get mad. Everybody mad. Yeah, they are. Okay, so also in Sacrifices, he says, I don't need nothing but one take. And that's the other thing. I mean, I don't redo any of these videos. To be totally honest, and I don't watch that many readings, but when I do watch other readers, I judge the out of people who take multiple takes. That's not channeling. That's not genuine. That's not authentic. That's not reading energy. That's like curating something in your mind and creating a script, and that's not what this is. So I don't know. You can be in a field, Capricorn, where there's like that. Like you see through the frauds and the phonies that are have so much more clout or so much more popularity, and you're like, oh well, I'm not doing the popular game. I'm doing the long game. I'm here for the long game. I'm here for the long haul. And so there is a turning point, a switching point. Also, people are mad, Capricorn, because they can't get access to you when you actually are in alignment with your path. Like Capricorn's entire existence is from switching to try and please everyone and be the rock and the stability for everyone, take care of everyone else, where they never get any of their goals achieved, and then they become a wash up, or then they go from that, hopefully, into the Capricorn who is so focused on their goals, so focused on their career, so focused on their thing, and, finding happy balance. And some just never find that balance. But Capricorn, this is a time that you need to find that balance. So which one of those are you in? And you need to focus on becoming more like the other. Some of my Capricorns, people are mad because they can't access you and they used to be able to access you. Maybe people are mad because your phone's always on Do Not Disturb. Mine's usually on Do Not Disturb, but yeah, it is what it is. I recommend it. I have emergency calls enabled, so certain emergency numbers can get through still. That's what matters, right? Something about Domino's, maybe Domino's pizza, maybe something about pizza. Something is falling like Domino's. Something is toppling over like Domino's. Also, in Do Not Disturb, Drake says, all the love I need is at the rodeo. So someone can be a fellow horse person or livestock person or rancher or something like that. Also in the Sacrifices song, he says, you can't be everything to everybody. J. Cole's part says this. He's like, I want to be your lover. I want to be your best friend. I want to be your Batman and your Spider-Man, fighter pilot, taking out all your rivals. So someone here could have really like Batman or Spider-Man. Something could be with those things. Someone here could be in the military. Someone here could be a pilot. Someone here could be a fighter. Someone here wants to toss the next line of the song, he's like, toss my hose out. So someone here has a lot of options. I feel like both people have a lot of options. And someone is like, I'm ready to toss them out and just be with you. I want you to be my best friend and I want you to be my lover. And something about Atlanta, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. So something about Vegas, also LA, Houston, so Texas, California, Georgia. Oh, someone could be coming clean about something. He also says waking up to public statements about my private life. So someone here can be really upset because people are addressing them in public about and they're like, excuse me, that's none of your business. So Capricorn, you can feel like people are just really nosy right now. And some of my Capricorns, you're ready to just live more life. Some of my Capricorns have really been living under a rock and under like what other people want of them and expect of them. And someone is also about to be messaging someone, and someone is ready to work on something for the long haul. Someone is about to reach out. Bless you.